This is Coke Zero Sugar. With real Coca-Cola taste and zero sugar. Listen closely. Hear those bubbles? That's the sound of delicious real Coca-Cola taste and zero sugar. Ice cold. Ah. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coca-Cola taste. Zero sugar.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Achtung Millwall. Broadcasting from beautiful South Bermondsey, it's the #1 Millwall podcast. Accept no substitute.
Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to Achtung Millwall. My name is Nick Hart. You're listening, of course, to the #1 Millwall podcast in the wake of Good Friday's magnificent win up there at Middlesbrough. 2-1 win for the Lions, of course. Alex Neil speaking to the BBC in the wake of that huge second half performance says the main attribute of our side is that we stay in the game. We do not give in. We've got character and spine in bucket loads in our side, and so it proved to be in Middlesbrough. I was up there. You would have heard the live footage yesterday. We've got a packed programme of voice notes. The ones I didn't use in yesterday's show are going to be packing into this. The fixture list comes out as fast and furious tomorrow. Easter Monday is, of course, another vital fixture. Aren't they all vital now with just 6 games to go? That's Norwich City at home. So we're going to get straight down at it now with the first conversation I recorded this morning with fans advisory board member Terry and Lindsay. Then we're going to go into the voicemails themselves. Huge thanks to everyone who's contributed. I'm going to give them a quick name check because I won't be doing much of a link between the various messages. But big thank you to Adam Wicks, Alex Van Dyke, Barnsley, Lawrence Binney, Martin Colwell, Matt Richards, Mike George and Rob Woodford. Also in yesterday's edition we featured John Rankin, we had Hassan and we had Danny from the USA. So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that contributes to the show. It really makes it's the salt and pepper on my chips, the vinegar, just to liven it all up. I really appreciate the contributions from everybody. I want to say a big thank you to you two listeners for tuning in and listening to Achtung Millwall. We've just made another contribution to the Lions Food Hub. That's because of the downloads and listens that you make for our show. It generates advertising revenue and we donate that to the Food Hub. So I wanted to just say a big thank you to everyone before we get into the meat of today's show. So we're going to take you over now to Terry Lindsay, then straight from there into the voicemails. Thank you for listening, dear listeners. Be back with Merv on Tuesday morning in the wake of the Norwich City home game. Let's hope for a win. Win, lose or draw, we'll be back with Merv on Tuesday. Thank you for listening. Arrivederci Millwall. Bye for now, dear listeners.
Achtung, Millwall.
Big welcome now, listeners, to the show, to a fellow traveller up to Middlesbrough on Friday for that immense win for the Lions. It's Terry Lindsay, member of the Fan Advisory Board. Terry, we were just speaking off air, mate, about the mental exhaustion that we both feel after that win up there. I can't think of a game that's drained me more since maybe the semi-final back in 2004. That's the nearest I can think of at the moment, mate.
It was crazy. I was really nervous for the game, but I said to you off air that I didn't really find myself even saying a lot or talking to anyone during the game because I was that nervous. And even those last few minutes, I felt like it just felt like an hour. Like after we scored the second goal, because they were pushing, and it was like, whoa, and the relief was just
immense.
Crazy from everyone.
I know. It's going to sound a bit like a psychiatrist therapy session, listeners, in this conversation with Terry and I. I mean, obviously, first half we were up against it, Terry. I mean, I thought it had a bit of a quality of the Ipswich game in a sense. I mean, this time we won it, whereas we probably should have won it at Portman Road. But first half, again, we were probably not fortunate because we were blocking. I've watched a few clips online of, I think the club put out some of the blocking and tackling, and I think we've got to take our hat off to the resilience of this side, Terry, because to get through that was quite an achievement, mate. And to get in at 1-0 at half time in those circumstances, full house, big stadium, immense.
It was crazy. They peppered us, if I'm being honest, and I thought I was actually quite impressed with them in the first half, although we weren't great. I was really impressed with the way they moved the ball, and they were very fast from transition, from front to back. Um, and I think, if I'm being honest, it could have been 2 or 3
Mm,
at half time.
mm.
But again, and I said to you on the last time I come on, we hang on, we fight, and we do get that little bit of rub of the green as well. And it gives you a chance in the second half, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was just listening to the Alex Neil post-match interview, Terry, and he made the same point that I mean, I miss these tactical details but apparently they were playing their centre half further forwards as almost as an extra
It was.
midfield, and that was
He was a good
overwhelming
player.
us a little bit. Yeah, they're a
Very
good
good player.
side. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you're right about chances. I remember they had a side foot volley. A bloke put it over from close. On another day, it goes in the net, and we're really up against it. But combination of luck, but sheer grit and determination, because luck gets made in football, doesn't it? And I think that
Yeah.
the way our players are willing to put their bodies on the line. I mean, Femi Aziz, I noticed, almost cleared one off the line in the
He
first
did, yeah.
half.
Yeah, he did. He
Um,
did.
he's our creative, fancy Dan player, and there he is
Yeah.
doing the work. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
I mean, they're a good side. I mean, I've read a stat the other day or yesterday that I think they created 127 chances in the last 5 games or something.
yeah, yeah.
Like that they create a lot of chances. I mean, obviously they've got a problem putting the ball in the back of the net at the moment, but and obviously they could probably have done with Coburn.
Well, I was just going to raise that very, very point, because I was one of the pleasures of my life, listeners. I like to flick through opposing sides forums, especially when we win, not so much when we lose. And I was looking at one of their one borough, I think it's called, last night, and they've been moaning the fact that they sold Josh Coburn to us. And I think he was getting a bit of stick around the ground,
Yeah.
as you'd expect. I mean, this is football, isn't it, Tel?
Yeah.
But I mean, hats off to the boy. He showed real character coming through that and getting 2 goals.
Since he's come back from injury, he's just been a different player.
Yeah, I don't know what they've done to him in the Calmont Road.
My son said to me, he heard Alex Neil on the radio said something along the lines that when he was off for 4 months, they got the opportunity to get him in the gym for his top half. So obviously, that's what they've been working on, to try and bully defenders, because you notice the way he's now trying to bully centre half.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's come back a different player. It's unbelievable.
They've clearly got him in the gym. You're right, because he looks a lot stronger. I kind of met him at the start of the season, and I think I've said a few times on these shows, he's a very nice boy. Like when somebody's just a nice kid, and that's great in life. That's what you want. On a football field, you've got to have a bit of a streak of a darkness to you, and that wasn't apparent to me at that time. Good footballer, but not that dark side. That's the Steve Morrison famous conversation. I think they got him in the gym. They got into his head a little bit, Terry, as well, because I think that's what's been added to his game. Would you agree with that?
That's right. He just he's hassling, he's causing problems. He's just been a nuisance, isn't he?
Absolutely.
And that's what you need up there.
And he's going up against seasoned defenders. These are blokes that have been round the track a few times. He's more than holding his own, and I think that's a real tribute to the boy. I mean, I couldn't. The only chance I could think of in the first half, we actually fell to Ivanovic, who produced a shot that I think it took a deflection. Actually, it went like a coat of paint wide. If that had gone in, then we would have had a different game on our hands again there. But do you like him as a 2, or is that a tactic you prefer to see coming in as a change, Terry?
Yeah,
do you like starting with 2?
I can't moan about it, because they're getting the results. So whatever he's doing is working. I mean, I do think we're very obviously, we leave ourselves quite open. But I think we do that on purpose, because we want to have a go at the other side. But I don't know whether I'm surprised he's not done a 10 more behind Coburn.
Which would be Negley as the obvious choice, though, I would think.
Yeah, and done it more.
Maybe
But
Bannon. Yeah.
Ivanovic done well. I thought Ivanovic done okay. He showed moments, where he done all right and he worked hard, but he's obviously not been, he's not been what he was last year.
No.
He struggled a bit this year. However, he's in the side every week. He's a big stature. He's a big lump. He does try and get involved.
He's a danger. He's a
Yeah, he's
danger, isn't he?
definitely a problem to deal with. Yeah. Um,
Because I would say if I was an opposing side, you can't just say he's in our pocket. He's always got
yeah.
something, and that
He's
shot was a good example because it's quite
that is
game, but he
his
produced that moment of
Yeah,
danger.
will come out of nowhere and do things like that.
Yeah,
But like I said, yeah, but again, if you look at him, it's almost like he needs a little bit of what Coburn's got now. Like the
yeah,
way because he's a big boy, and I feel like he could use his stature a little bit more.
yeah. He needs an injection of the dark side, doesn't he? Something
Yeah,
to, you
yeah.
know,
But again, he's
just to
another young
take it
lad.
to the next level.
Young
Yeah,
lad, nice lad, probably.
yeah,
Probably needs that
yeah.
little bit, and he's still new to English football. They're going back to Negley. I mean, you look at Negley from last year to this year. The kid is just he loves it. You can tell he loves it.
Absolutely. Yeah, the post-match conversations with him, he was buzzing, as they say, and that's great to see. I mean, the first goal, I mean, obviously under the cosh first half,
Yeah.
listeners, and then second half we took the game a bit more to them, didn't we? In the second half, though it still wasn't cut and dried, but it's not always you can say thank the EFL for the technology, but that goal line technology, I do like that because
Yeah,
on
that,
another day we mightn't have got that. It was a close run
right.
thing from my vantage point, so I don't know if you had a view of it, but I thought
Yeah,
it looked like it crossed the line, but
I couldn't
you
really
can't
tell.
say
I mean,
no.
it looked, but you couldn't tell from where we was. Like I was sort of in the middle of the whole pack of us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
I couldn't really tell if it was or not. I mean, I think a couple of chances, a couple of minutes before, we put a couple of dangerous balls into the box, and the goalkeeper flapped a little bit.
yeah.
Uh,
There's a chance earlier on from the goal, wasn't there?
yeah,
Where penalty shot possibly. But
yeah, and I think Coburn had a free kick given against him on the goalkeeper, which I thought was harsh.
yeah, yeah.
I thought he just sort of pushed him a little bit, nudged him, and he gave a free kick. I thought that we were starting to press before we scored, and we started to
Yeah,
create
it was
chances.
coming into it. Yeah,
Yeah, we were starting to come into it, and they were starting to look a little bit under the cosh, weren't they?
I think they were starting to get the old seeds of doubt in their head because after the
Yes,
first half of dominance,
yes,
to only be one ahead,
yeah.
everyone knows that's not enough. One goal lead is never cut and dried, is it?
No, no.
And I think it's the little voice that gets in your head. I think also one thing that I wanted to say is there's we're just looking at the table. Obviously, it'll finish 2-1. We'll come back to Josh's second goal, but I think there's a real pressure, and I don't think we account for that enough in other teams. I mean, Ipswich have got 2 games in hand on us, Terry, but they've got to get those points, and there's a
Right.
pressure to it. And this is the big time now, isn't it? I think Alex Neil made the point about playing in front of 30,000 people. We've got players that aren't used to that. Not
No,
many players at our level will be.
no. It's it's a different when they're looking at what they've got to do. It's a different sort of challenge for a team. And we,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, I know they've got 2 games now, but we got the points, don't we?
yeah.
And they have still got to go to Middlesbrough, or Middlesbrough have got. I don't know if it's home
And
or
they've got
away.
the East Anglian derby as well, no? Which Norwich
Yeah,
will want to strike
shout,
them for. Yeah, yeah.
shout. So we just need to. I think if we do our job and we do our bit, we might have enough, because we've got. I mean, got now. Obviously, every game is massive now, but like
Yes.
we just need to keep ticking those boxes. And you would hope that tomorrow, but you'd hope tomorrow that the adrenaline and sort of
The situation. Yeah, yeah,
situation, the boys might just
yeah,
literally just romp it home. But obviously the crowd's going to be up for it,
yeah.
and get an early goal, and I think we'll be fine.
I want to mention, just going back to Josh Coburn, the
Yeah,
coolness of
oh,
that finish for the second goal.
crazy.
That's next level. That's what you get paid for. That's
I-
one of the hardest things to do in football, Terry.
Yeah, he's done a few. He's had a few goals this year where he's had a
Yeah,
lot to do, and
yeah,
he's done. His composure is unbelievable. The way,
Yeah.
even the ball, even the way Bannon just sort of calmly just put it into his path.
Yeah.
And even from where I was thinking, I didn't really know. At one point, I thought he was going to hit it on his left foot, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
way he opened his body up, and everyone's
Yeah.
been slating Luke Ayling online about how bad his defending was and stuff like that. Oh, everyone knows he's going to go on his right foot. Yeah, but when you're actually playing and you've been running for 80 minutes, right?
Yes.
It's not easy, right, to be able to. I don't like Luke Ayling as much as anyone, but
Yeah.
you know, it's easy to say, oh yeah, he's going to put it on his right foot. You should know. But the way he just opened his body up and just slotted it was absolutely crazy.
Oh, he's a talent. I mean, the lamppost nickname don't really do him justice for the quality of the boy, because
better nickname for him. Like,
we need a new one. When I've got more mental agility, listeners, I'll try and think of a better one, but I can't think of anything at the moment, so we'll stick with lamppost. But
it was that, the song that I can't. He keeps saying in my head that he left because shit.
That's the wit of the crowd. I mean, that made me laugh because I had to stand there and take that, and they were giving it all the business.
It was so loud when we was doing that. Wasn't it? It was so loud. It was. Do you know what? When they scored, it was. I thought they were really. It was loud when they scored.
Yeah, absolutely, it was. Yeah.
But I felt like in the second half we were loud. My ears were hurting. We were loud.
Well, my poor little recorder I took up there, I got overwhelmed with. That's it. It was all distorted. I couldn't use half of it. It's just distortion, like Jimi Hendrix concert back in the olden days. So yeah, it was allowed. I mean, hats off to the 2,100 odd that travelled, because it was one proper Millwall turn.
I mean, at half time, when you went back into the, go downstairs, everyone was, like everyone's mood. It's just like, well, I'm used to this sort of mood in a way. Like, that was the mood, wasn't it? Everyone was like,
I'll tell you what I did miss. They're supposed to have an ultra style card display before the game. I thought, where was that? I saw a thing doing the rounds on the net. Hold your cards up and get behind the boys. I thought, did I miss it? I must have missed it. It didn't happen.
It was on.
Did it happen? Where was it? I didn't see that.
Was straight in front of us.
It wasn't exactly the Dortmund yellow wall, was it?
It wasn't. It was like a garden fence rather than a wall. You know what I mean?
Dear.
They had to go, didn't they? They had to go.
That didn't come here. Fair play to them. The drummer got a good beat going at one point as well.
When we scored, right? When we scored the second goal, the drummer kept going. The drummer started again, and everyone was like looking at him, saying, "Shut up now, mate."
I had to laugh. I was on the kind of the anyone's never been to the stadium. It's a nice stadium, but it's right in the middle of nothing. It's like it's like 28 days later, Terry. There's no one left in the World Cup. And this spaceship has landed.
Back to the car, right? There was a brand new building. It was Middlesbrough College, right? And it had like some concrete, which had some sort of grass and weeds coming through it, and had a horse grazing there, right?
I saw the horse. It was like Steptoe's, or Hannibal, or whatever it was called. Steptoe's horse.
What is going on? It's a brand new building, and then you've got
compare and contrast, because we was in this kind of long, slow walk back, being held by the coppers. But there's like a road that was once busy. I think all the houses seem to have gone, apart from a couple of bars that they've set up there, like porter cabin bars to sell drinks. So there's all these Middlesbrough fans swigging. They just got beat, and we're filing past them. I thought you would not get this at the Den. It would kick off big time, wouldn't it?
It would be going off, wouldn't it? They let us out straight away, and there was a lot of people shouting.
Anyone who weren't there can picture the scene. But basically, we're trudging past a load of Middlesbrough fans on the beer, and they just got beat, and they're all singing songs at them face to face.
That's exactly what was happening, basically. But I was just they're like, go on, out you go. I thought, whoa, okay, fair enough, lovely. Get back to the car. It was a nightmare getting out of there. The traffic was a joke.
Traffic's always, once you get away from Middlesbrough, it's not too bad, but the actual getting out of town, it's I had to Where I parked, I drove past a huge, great mound of looked like rock salt. They got like a mountain. It was a small mountain of rock salt. That must be like the feature of the place. I don't know.
But I think I holds 34,000 Riverside.
32, 100. Just looking at
Premier League
BBC.
stadium, isn't it?
It's a nice stadium. I actually quite like going to Middlesbrough. It's a long way, but it's a proper football club, and
It is, yeah.
it's they play a decent style. So it's a proper away day.
It
But
is.
there we are.
It is.
I still feel a bit mentally drained, Terry. So I think I'm going to let you go, mate. I know you've got a day in front of you. So,
No, I'm going up to Greenwich Park, so
right, enjoy your day, mate. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate
that's all
it.
right, mate. No problem. Anytime.
And listeners, stay tuned. We've got voicemails after these messages.
If we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, every morning it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from okay to very high. Know your sleep score with Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Tap the banner to learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot make your email response time faster. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you find space for your 3 desk drinks. Why do you have 3? And while we can't help you find the perfect volume for your presentation video, LinkedIn can help you find the perfect audience for your business. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
Hello?
Hello, Nick. Nick Hart. Well, hey. What a win. I'm just driving back from the Borough game. Good to see you, mate, before the game. Nice that Middlesbrough managed to find a bird shit corner for you in their stadium. Very nice of them. It's what a good Friday. What a good Friday indeed. We've got to enjoy this, haven't we? I mean, second in the table, 6 games to go. It's just mental, absolutely mental. Nobody could have dreamt of this at the start of the season. And what a game. Let's face it, we were lucky to still be in the game at half time. Chances they had. We're backs to the wall. I thought Caleb Taylor was brilliant in the first half with some of his interceptions. Last ditch defending, and happy to go in at 1-0 really at half time. It's difficult to kind of see, because we had effectively our strongest team out on the pitch, I guess, really. Ivanovic starting up front. So bold picks by Alex Neil. He went for it. He went for it today. It did pay off in the first half because they were so dominant. They were physical. They're getting to the ball before us. They're running through our midfield. Casper clearly not match fit. 1-0. That was almost a result really getting at half time. And second half, we were thinking, well, how can he really change it? And you change it by just being more on the front foot and just really kind of going for it. Really, I think just that was it, and the momentum did change. And I think the first 5 or 10 minutes, the second half, we forced a couple of corners. Demi was getting down the right, got a couple of balls over, just creating a bit of havoc in the box. Just couldn't get a clear-cut kind of chance. But then we managed to score the goal. Casper, I can't remember it that well, and I haven't seen the replay, but I know Casper was coming down the right, managed to get the ball over. Obviously, Josh scored. It was that kind of typical, not quite sure if it crossed the line or not, and I'm sure if there's some sort of way of the referee not giving that goal, he would have found it. But obviously, it's recorded down, and his watch made the noise or whatever as a goal. It's just brilliant scenes in the away end. Absolutely brilliant, superb stuff. Then Casper goes off, Barry Bannon comes on after like 60 odd minutes, and it just seems to kind of calm it down a bit, Barry. And then obviously, passes the ball to Josh and just so calmly finished it. Just sends us into dreamland. And wow, and I don't know, it was almost, I know it's not the same at all, but kind of the last 5-10 minutes, there's a flashback to Old Trafford in 2004, when you're waiting for those, the referee to blow his whistle. What a result. I mean, what a team. We just don't know when we're beaten. It wasn't that long ago where if we went behind, then you couldn't see us coming back. But it's different with this team. They have a different mentality. They just don't give up. They keep moving forward, keep pushing forward for the win. Great second half of football. I thought we were a better team in the second half. They probably had a bit more possession, but we carried a threat, especially down the right. Tristan was getting forward, Femi getting forward, a couple of dangerous crosses, had a good chance. Josh Coburn was just... I think my man of the match, it was a toss-up between Caleb Taylor, because even in the second half he was making some great interceptions. Got Josh Coburn though, scoring 2 goals against his former club, bullied again, match. But the rest of the team, Billy Mitchell made an amazing get when he managed to run back when they were breaking on the counter-attack, and he managed to block a shot. Patterson made a couple of decent saves. Zach Sturgeon, the better second half of the game. You can go through the whole team, and that's what you have to do. You have to win at a place like Middlesbrough. Everybody has to be an 8 or 9 out of 10, and I thought that they all were today. Fantastic result. What a feeling to be second in the table this stage of the season. Really important game. They're all cup finals now. Norwich at home on Monday. We have to follow it up with a win, because otherwise it's almost inconsequential, really. You've got to keep putting those points on the board, and who knows where it's going to take us. But what a feeling! What a time to be a Millwall fan. Come on, you Lions!
Hello, Nick. It's Barnsley here. When it's just finished, Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 2. My God. It was very similar to the Ipswich game. We were so under pressure. We looked very, very leggy. We've had all that break. And I was really concerned. I thought, we're going to be overrun. But, the master plan. We look at it now and we go, do you know what? First half, just get it out of the way. Second half, we're going to come out fighting. And boy, did we do that. Go back to the first half. I thought Kramer was having a bit of a struggle. I think down the right, we looked very vulnerable, which is pretty unheard of from us because usually that's our strength. But I think we were really struggling. Nice to see Casper back. But yeah, 60 minutes on his belt's going to do him the world of good, but he wasn't, the Casper that we know. Billy, absolutely amazing today, that fella. He just did not stop running. And I want to bring up his gut-busting run back when they caught us on the break and put that absolute fantastic blocking. And it was better than a goal. It really was. And that guy, and then he went through the end, didn't you? Everyone knew that he weren't going to score. I think we knew it was going to go for a goal kick. But, that guy's energy is just phenomenal. And we got to keep him. We have to give that guy that contract. I'm sorry. That's the first fellow we should be signing. But going back to the first half, I thought we really struggled. I think Cooper got involved in something stupid, which, I don't think he'd done anything wrong personally. Nice little dive, and then got the yellow cards. He was on a bit of a, don't do anything silly, Coops, which he did. Thought he was brilliant second half. Kramer, like I said, go back to him. Struggled first half, fell asleep for the goal, I felt. But, we didn't crumble, did we? We got in. Patterson made some good saves. I thought he was very strong. Zach done very well. And, I thought Taylor, some of the blocks that Taylor put in as well. Those long legs, we need them, don't we? Absolutely. Some fantastic blocks. And that's what he's there to do. And, he played very well. Good. We need him back in. And, since he's been back in, we do look a bit of a stronger unit at the back. But we held firm, didn't we? Second half, he tweaked it a little bit, didn't he? But after 5 minutes. But we looked very passive, didn't we? Not really getting into them and letting them. We had such big holes for that defence at one point. But second half, different team, aren't we? Absolute different team. Negley, my God, that guy does an half run. Just put a clock on him. I reckon he does about 10k every single game. Every single game. Defensively, fantastic, and obviously set the goal up. Fed Bannon, read the ball for the goal. But we go back to the first instance. But Mihailovic, what a great little. The ball was going off. He managed to get his leg wrapped around it for Coburn to sweep it home. Don't give it to the goalkeeper. That is a centre forward's goal. I hate all that bollocks. Coburn's goal, anyway. And then we created some really good chances. Aziz wasn't really on it today again, but the balls he's whipping in, unbelievable, aren't they? You can't. The guy, I think Aylin. Oh, let's talk about Aylin. Aylin, apparently he's a lovely fellow, and this is what I see on the pitch, and he was playing Coburn first half absolutely perfectly, wasn't he? Every time the ball went up, it was going down like an absolute sack of spuds, wasn't he? And then Coburn has the last laugh, and I want to see a picture. I want Millwall to put a picture of Aylin looking up after Coburn sweep that ball into that far corner, because that's going to be a picture and a half, that is. But, the man of the moment, Coburn, we need that player. We need to wrap him up in cotton wool, because he has had his critics. He has, he's got, as you said, he's been in the gym. He looked bigger. He looks strong. And, that player is a massive player for us, and we've got to keep him fit, because we look a different team. But otherwise, wow. We're absolutely buzzing. Can't wait for Monday. Or can I? I'm going to be so nervous like I normally am. But what a win. What a manager. What a support up there. I think you went up there. Loads of the boys went up there, and have a safe journey home, because, that's what this scene's all about. Getting behind the boys, home and away. And boy, what a result that is. I'm going to be absolutely buzzing tonight, and I will be drinking loads of wine, which I normally do, but even more tonight. So buzzing. Let's go Monday. Keep this run going. Come on. We can do this. I bloody hope we can. Anyway, mate, have a safe journey, and I'll see you Monday. Come on, you Lions.
Well, Nick, a short one from me as I'm on a short break. Wives don't often consult with the fixture list when booking Easter trips, but my Sky Sports app provided me with crystal clear coverage of the match on the road, passenger seat, down to Portsmouth, and on the ferry to the Isle of Wight. What another amazing second half performance. Heroes all. Femi didn't look too embarrassed winning the Man of the Match award, especially from the Man of the Match, King Coburn. What a waste of money he was. Roll on Monday, short turnaround. Just make no mistake, this will be an even harder game. But we've got momentum now. Come on, you Wall.
Morning, Nick. Very quick one from me, just Adam Wicks here, from cloudy Cornwall. Just hope I'm not too late, but just to say what a team, what a gutsy bunch of players we've got. Unbelievable performance, amazing second half, and we are right in the hunt, aren't we? Amazing. Come on, you Lions.
Good afternoon, Nick Hart, or can I call you Godfather Nick? Just listen to the podcast. Absolutely awesome. Passion, your voice. You sound like me, mate, but with much better of the passion of Millwall. It was just unbelievable listening to that video. I wish I was there, the atmosphere. Let's make it continue with, obviously, Norwich at home, West Brom, Leicester. Stoke's going to be tricky. Happy Easter, Nick and lovely missus and all that. Listen, Colin Cooper is not back in my day, Colin Cooper. No, I think, bless him, he lost his little daughter. But anyway, I don't remember the time when Colin Cooper played for Millwall. But we've got Juicy Jake Cooper. Just, 20 years later or 15 years later. Who's better? I think Colin Cooper was a much more accomplished defender, calm, cool. But Juicy Jake, mate, he's a lion heart. Anyway, going off topic. So, happy Easter. Great podcast of you live going, and that's why you do it. That's why we love you. Happy Easter. Canaries, we're coming for you. Every game now is a must-win. Every cup final, keep ahead. Yeah, Ipswich got Birmingham, Portsmouth, it's not in our hands, but we got to keep. Don't look back. Bye for now, Abiti. And you just said now on the podcast. What did you say? Blah. I forgot what you said now.
All right, Nick, it's Lawrence Binney calling in after Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 2. Oh, fuck, Nick. They've only gone and done it, haven't they? Oh, it's the hope that kills you. Shit. After the Blackburn game, I think I was quite pissed off with the officiating in our first half performance, especially. It got a sense that maybe we have played an opportunity, but also I think there was a sense of relief. I feel kind of guilty admitting that. There was a sense of relief because it sort of gave me a chance to relax and say, oh well, top two was never really a realistic possibility. And here we are a couple of weeks later, and yeah, the script was flipped again, and it isn't quite in our hands. It's looking pretty favourable for us. There's something about this season. It has a magic mark on it. It has an aura, capital A aura about it. It feels like it's been enchanted somehow by some sort of shaman. I mean, things are happening this season that don't usually happen in Millwall seasons. Winning at Carrow Road, coming back from behind to beat Southampton, countless last-minute winners, getting the winner today, being outplayed. Possibly should have been out of sight in recent games against Hull and Ipswich and Borough in those first halves, but finding a way to get results and turn the game in our favour. The common denominator here is Alex Neil. He has that Scottish, I was about to say Glasgow, I'm not sure if he's from Glasgow, but that nous, that shrewdness, that ability to kind of switch things up and make sure they go in our favour. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's obviously tangible material, right? He's making decisions that are affecting the pitch, but also it's just a sense of, I don't know, almost like fate with some of these Scottish managers. It's a mentality thing, and I think it rubs off onto the players. We look completely bereft in that first half again. Whereas I think against Ipswich, it's because we got the system wrong. I think we got the system right in that first half. We were pressing them quite well. We just were so wasteful with the ball and just kept giving it back to them. And they really should have punished us. We really should have been, again, 3 or 4-1 down in that first half. But we hang on. In the second half, it's just, tweaks, maybe, a word in the ear here and there. We calm down, we look more composed. Aziz comes into the game, Coburn comes into the game, Kramer's in the game, and suddenly it's like, oh shit, here comes the hope again, here comes that feeling. Fuck. I can't really think of a season like it. I really can't. Even in our more successful seasons, I think there's been a sense of, I don't know, think about the McGee promotion season, and we were clearly the best team in the league. I was also 10, so there was 10, 11 years old. There was also a certain sense of not knowing how fickle fate can be. The jacket seasons, again, very, very organised team in a pretty dire league. There was never that sort of feeling of jeopardy. I think the closest that I can think of is maybe on the eve of the Cup semi-final in 2004 and the second half of the playoff final against Bradford. I think those are the only two comparable feelings I have, where it's like, shit, like double checking, can we actually do this? But yeah, it's magical time to be a Millwall fan. I haven't even talked about the game at all, really, or about any Millwall players, but Caleb Taylor, Josh Coburn, take a bow. Fuck me. Taylor as well, especially, like, having been out for a few games, has come in and an absolute lion on the pitch, threw himself in front of everything. And Coburn, I don't know what someone's put in his tea, but since he's come back from injury, he's looked, I don't know, maybe the player we thought Ivanovic was going to be at the start of the season. So yeah, we're in a good position.
fuck it, let's just have a go against Norwich, see what happens. If we lose, well, we didn't expect to beat Borough. Oh, what a time to be alive, eh, Nick? Very jealous of you actually making the game rather than watching on the telly, and I very much look forward to your commentary on the pod. Take care, everyone. Come on, your lines.
Achtung, Millwall.
Hello, Nick. How are you? Alex, block 38. Yeah, I see you at the ground today, and I thought I need to send Nick a voicemail. I keep forgetting all the time, and then the podcast come out, and I'm like, I've done it again. What a day! What a blinding result. We always seem to do it the hard way, don't we? I don't know what's going on at the minute with these sort of second half performances away from home, but it's like night and day. Before the Ipswich game, I said I would have been happy with a draw with Ipswich, to draw away to Borough, and then obviously 3 points at home to Norwich. I would have been happy with that, but I'm absolutely buzzing at the minute. These second half performances got away from home. Ipswich we was a completely different team in the second half. Sheffield Wednesday had to go 1-0 down to win it 2-1 in the second half. Wrexham, and there's another one, it's gone out of my head. I don't remember. But it just springs like today, like we were 1-0 down, we was riding our luck a bit. It weren't going our way. I don't understand I don't know what the referee sees. I don't understand how Colberg can be thrown around like a rag doll, but then someone goes within a metre of Luke Ayling and he can throw himself on the floor and, free kick. It looked a bit like it was going to be one of them days, and we couldn't even pass to each other in the first half. We looked really nervous. To be honest, we looked a bit leggy. I think we just had 2 weeks off. But I don't know what he's done. He's done it again, and Alex Neil at half time. Don't know what he's putting in the water, but it's working. We'll take it. Absolutely buzzing. Driving home now. Just coming down the M11. Still got a couple of hours till I get home. Absolutely buzzing. Keep looking at the league table. Might sound like a bit of a mug here, but keep looking at the league table and having a little smile. Looks fucking lovely sitting in second. Premier League, it'll be amazing. No more of this driving up and down the country with about 19 league games within 15 miles every day. But I tried shouting you earlier in the ground, but it was just too busy. But I see you sitting up in the corner next to the flag, and I thought, I'll send you a voice note. I'm going to shamelessly plug it again, like I always do. Any military veterans, or we've opened it up now to blue light veterans. So any police force, fire brigade, paramedics, any veterans, anyone fancies a game of football, joining Millwall military veterans, come down to the Lions Centre on Thursdays. We play at 8 o'clock now till 9 o'clock every Thursday, just a training session, a bit of mental health. RBL will be there, just a little health check-in, and we do play most home games. So the QPR game, we're playing Sunderland military vets, early day, and we'll play our games in the Lions Centre on the AstroTurf. So if anyone's interested, just come down, come say hello, put the boots on. It's mixed ability. You ain't got to be Ronaldo. Just come down and have a little kick about. I hope you're well, Nick, and come on, you Lions.
Well, it is 2 minutes past 11. So I've had quite a long day because I got up at around 2:30 this morning, picked a mate up, and then we drove up to the Den and then jumped on the coaches to Middlesbrough for what was a crucial game. Everybody was bigging it up. And to be quite honest, I was quite nervous about it. I thought, well, if somebody offers us a 2-2 draw or a 1-1 draw before the game, I think I would have taken it. However, into the game we went, into the Riverside, and frankly, we watched Millwall battered. All right. Middlesbrough have got a reputation for creating a lot, but not scoring many goals. And thus, so it proved. I mean, they just knocked on the door for most of the first half. Yes, we had a couple of chances. Of course we did. But on the main, we were in our own sort of penalty box, 6-yard box area, defending for all we were worth. As Middlesbrough tried and tried and tried, they created loads, had loads of possession, but only scored one goal, which was a crossfield cross that somehow evaded Kramer at the far post and in-nipped one of their defenders, apparently, to nod the ball home and give them a 1-0 lead at half-time. However, the Lions, with a bit of a rocket up their backsides, one would imagine at half-time, came back into the second half and basically assaulted Middlesbrough. And, of course, it was always going to happen, wasn't it? Josh Coburn returning to his old club. Well, the first goal was an odd affair. He shot, the goalkeeper at it, and then kind of it crept over the line. And they all looked at the referee, who looked at his watch, and he pointed goal, which was the first thing the referee had given us all afternoon, to be frank. He was, as you would expect, or as Millwall fans expect from goalkeepers, pretty awful, okay? And definitely biased against us. Some of his decisions were absolutely outrageous. And then with just a few minutes to go, Josh not only got hold of a lovely ball from Barry Bannon, who'd come on as a substitute, he took a couple of strides forward, cut inside and placed a beautiful curler into the far corner. And, well, 2,101 Millwall fans went absolutely ballistic. There were limbs everywhere. And it was great. It's fantastic. I'm not sure any of us could actually believe it, but we had suddenly moved into second place. We're so high up the table, we're almost getting vertigo, for God's sake. So there you go. It was a long journey back, but the first hour on the coach back was full of jollity, and then we all sort of, I think time all caught up with us and we all fell asleep. So it was very quiet for the next couple of hours or so. But as we land back down to earth, and realise that Millwall really are in second place. We have a really important game against Norwich to come in the next couple of days. And wow, well, this season, can it get any better? It seems to be getting better and better and better. What a manager Alex Neil is. What a team he's put together. And the camaraderie is absolutely unprecedented, with the fans backing every inch of the way. Full houses away, full houses at home. This is such a great season for Millwall. Come on, you Lions.
Yeah, hi Nick, it's Martin Colwell. Happy Easter to all. Watched the Middlesbrough game on Sky. We can't keep doing this play not well one half and then play well the second half, because we've still got 6 games to go and we're not going to get away with it. And we need to win 5 of those 6 games, I would think, to remain second. We'll make the playoffs, no worries. On the game, pleased to see Casper De Norre back, just the sort of thing we needed, and he gave a good account of himself for that hour or so he was on the pitch. Billy Mitchell was doing really well with blocks, but I didn't think he was particularly playing well, apart from the blocking and the covering. Femi Aziz was well off it, I thought, first half. Well off it, and surprised he got man of the match, really, but we'll come back to that one. But yeah, we struggled, didn't we? Could have been more than, like everyone said, could have been more than one down. And then we battled, but we kept going, and we got away with it. We needed to push on, didn't we, in the second half, and we did. And when you need to win a game, you need Barry Bannon to come on probably to be a bit more creative, because he's more creative footballer than Casper or Billy. And I thought Campbell Negley got into the game a bit more as well in that second half. But yeah, Luke Cundle's on, not Luke Cundle, Jake Coburn's on fire, isn't he, at the moment, and taking his chances well. And God, does he need to stay fit the rest of the season, to get us where we need to go. And, Middlesbrough, I said on Facebook, Middlesbrough are an okay team. They're not the best team in the league. Coventry are the best team in the league. It's nonsense to say Middlesbrough are the best team in the league. I know that, I think they were saying that on the broadcast. I've read it before, but they're not. Coventry are the best team in the league, and they're rightfully top of the league. But yeah, they're a good side, lacking goals. And we gave him a goal. I think Tristan Kramer lost his man at the back post, didn't he? And he had that free header. But yeah, in terms of performances, I thought the goalkeeper did really well. I don't see what the goalkeeper did wrong. He did what he needed to do. I thought the back three were okay. I thought Zach Surge lacked a bit going forward. I think Tristan Kramer struggled a bit, and I think he's been struggling a bit lately in that position. But Jake Coburn and Caleb Taylor were really good centre half, I think, and they were probably in contention for man of the match, both of them. But yeah, we pushed on. We did well. Femi Aziz got into the game a bit more, didn't he? He was told to, liven up and go for it by Alex Neil, I would guess. And he pushed on, and he did well. In terms of remaining games, I mean, like I said before, we've got a few banana skins, and we've also got all these odd times to play, haven't we? You've got Friday evenings and Saturday lunch times, and we only really get back to normal by the last game of the season, which, by then everything could be decided, couldn't it? But yeah, I think, it's what it's going to be like in the Premier League with all these odd times, but I don't like it. I don't mind playing 12:30 on a Saturday. I prefer to play at 3 p.m, but I don't want to play Friday evenings and, that. But as I say, I think if we go to the Premier League, we're going to tolerate it. But yeah, we're looking good. We're pushing on, and we've got to keep going. And we've all got to get behind the team, even if we have slumpy periods. We've got to push on and go for it and just keep going. And I say, if we can win those games, we can do it. So, come on, you Lions. Who do you want to watch?
When I was a little boy, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be Arsenal? Will I be Spurs? Here's what she said to me.
Who do you want to watch?